Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kara here with another Guardian Tales video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a beginner guide ready for 2022. I figured this is a great time to start over and make a new one that's updated for the current game state for new players here just getting into Guardian Tales. I do notice that there's a ton of residuals on a lot of my older videos in this game, so for me that shows that there's a lot of people still searching for this game, still trying to learn a lot of the basic concepts, so I figured this is probably going to be a helpful resource for a lot of people out there. And if you're looking for more Guardian Tales content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss another video. So with that out of the way, let's get in the video here. Alright, so the first thing you should be looking to do when you just have a new account, you should start by rerolling your account. Starting out with a good hero and their exclusive weapon will make a massive difference for starting out with a random hero without a weapon. Heroes to look out for are generally tanks, supports, and range damage dealers with light or earth elements. Reason being because those are going to be the best elements to help you face later on in the campaign. Examples would be Future Princess, Agma, Maya, Camille, Mayriel, Gabriel, Veronica, and MK99. These type of characters, they're either really tanky or they're really good range damage dealers. Some heroes are obviously better than others, but certain heroes like Future Princess or Camille only have a banner a few times per year. You could do well with these other heroes, but those are going to be the top two best heroes for this because they're some of the best heroes in the entire game. This is not the video where I'm going to break down each specific hero, but I do have a ton of guides on the channel for each one of these guys if you want to check them out yourself in other videos. Quick guide on rerolling is very easy. All you have to do is download the game, log in as a guest. The big thing here is to log in as a guest. You don't want to sync your email to this. You want to just be trying out the account and play through the prologue, and after World 1, Stage 1, you'll get enough resources to make 50 pulls on a hero in a weapon banner. There's going to be a new hero as the first hero, and then there's going to be repeats for all the other heroes on the banner. If you actually do get lucky enough to hit a unique roll, 50% of the time it's going to be that new hero or whatever hero you're rolling for on that banner. Rerolling this game is actually one of the easier rerolling systems I've ever seen in a game, where all you got to do is beat World 1, Stage 1, you get 5-10 pulls. And then another thing you can do is if you really want to expedite this, the emulator I use is LD Player, linked down in the description if you want to download it, but you can actually multi-box it and do this multiple times and set up multi-box systems so you're inputting all this 4 times or whatever your system can handle, because these emulators are very CPU intensive, so depending on how nice your computer is, you could really crank this out even if you are planning to spend. This is a great way to really give yourself a head start. So your main goal in the beginning is going to be the story. Quick tip when it comes to the story. As a person that normally speeds runs these games to try to get to the end game, the story is actually really great in this, and I would recommend actually sitting through it and playing it, because this is going to be the main thing you're going to want to do, and the story is actually really good, and they are continuously updating the story. Most people that play this game, that's the thing that they're really excited for, is the story, which is very rare for games like this. Be sure to check out the story. It's actually pretty good. Another important thing to keep in mind is that a lot of content is locked behind clearing the story. You really want to be clearing these as fast as you can, because you'll keep unlocking new game modes up until the end of World 9. You shouldn't necessarily rush through everything, but keep in mind that Guardian Tales story does take a relatively long time to complete, and the faster you unlock everything, the sooner you can get to start unlocking rewards in other game modes. All these games at the end of the day are resource management games. There are only a few resources accessible in the early game, most important of which are your gems and coffee. Your gems should be used almost exclusively to summon heroes, not weapons, because the heroes are the way better value when it comes to gems, especially early. Maybe later on you can argue pulling for weapons, and there's very specific scenarios where pulling for weapons is okay. The reason why you pull for heroes is because you have a far higher chance to actually pull a hero you want from a banner, plus you get hero crystals for duplicate heroes you pull. Hero crystals are one of the most important resources in the game. The reason for that is because you can limit break heroes that have reached 5-star evolution mark. Limit breaks provide a lot of additional stats as well as raise a hero's maximum level by 5. It takes you roughly 200 to 250 hero summons to get enough hero crystals to max limit break one exclusive hero, and in general you want to max your main party as soon as you can, and spending your gems this way speeds up the process by a lot. You should also never, absolutely never, use hero crystals to buy evolution stones. You can easily sink all of your hero crystals into it without accomplishing much, and you can farm evolution stones much faster and reliably with coffee over using gems on hero summons for that purpose. I'll link in the top corner the evolution farming guide that breaks this down thoroughly, but this is easily one of the most important things when it comes to maxing your heroes and resource management. It deserves its own video, so watch that if you are unfamiliar with with that because it's very important, then come back here. Your coffee should stay below its maximum as often as it can. Just like all these games, you always want to be generating coffee, not having it stacked. The game gives you a lot in the early game, so you'd be constantly overflowing, but you should use it to clear stories, side or short stories, or use them in resource dungeon. You'll unlock Guardian Base Camp in Heavenhold very soon, and once level 51, you can use the sweep feature for resources and awakening dungeons, saving you a lot of time, thus making it easy to stay below the maximum stamina limit. So you get 144 stamina per day, so you don't have to worry about running out for story purposes, since the stamina cost stays the same for the whole story. 10 stamina for passage and special stages, and 15 stamina for main stages. That's it for when it comes to resource management. Now let's talk about your party, specifically party composition. Should always have 1 or 2 tanks, a healer, and 1 or 2 DPS heroes. The game classifies weirdly some heroes, mainly the support class, which is mostly made out of utility, buffer, and rarely actual healers. Always check the character info first. The best free-to-play PvE combo, Craig the tank and Aoba the healer, with Craig being the best free-to-play tank and Aoba being the best free-to-play healer. Besides the tank healer, you should make sure you use healers that benefit the whole team and not just themselves with their party buffs. You should check a hero party buff in the lower left side of the character sheet. Desirable party buffs are defense percentage, HP percentage, ranged attack, and critical hit chance, and occasionally skill damage. That's probably the worst one, but it's still fine because they do well in PvE and translate well into PvP. Early on, these party buffs won't really be that noticeable, but once you start maxing out the hero's evolution and awakening, it'll make a massive difference. Now let's talk about resource farming. The best things to farm early on will be gold, experience, and hammers to max out each of your character's weapons, accessories, and their level. At level 75, resource dungeons, you'll get roughly 85% of what you can get from a level 85 dungeon, which makes it much harder. For that reason, you shouldn't hesitate to spend all of your free stamina on lower level resource dungeons because it'll still be very cost effective. Evolution dungeons, on the other hand, this is big, feature noticeably big differences between each level, mainly in exclusive hero shard drop chance. For that reason, I would advise against spending your stamina on evolution dungeons below level 70. It gets a little better at that point. You can shorten the time required to max evolve a hero by playing through the story, gathering lots of yellow stones for the high grade evolution boxes. If you have at least 2 exclusive heroes in your party of the same element, you can shorten the evolution grind for your first few heroes significantly by buying those items. I also have another video talking specifically about the Evo grind, so be sure to check that out so you know exactly what I'm talking about there. A big mistake everyone makes in the early game is only upgrading and using your weapons. Your heroes early game are very squishy, with maximum break-in fully awakened heroes having roughly 2 times the DPS and 3 times the toughness over non-3-star, non-awakened ones at the same level. If you use good accessories, and then I also have an accessory guide, it's just too much to get into here, and your shields up for your tanks, you can usually make your heroes able to survive at least a few attacks before going down, especially in later worlds, the difference being you have a good max accessory, and some random ones at level 20 will make your heroes able to survive a stray hit or being one-shotted by almost every enemy and boss. This is one of the biggest things when I would do account takeovers and try to help people out, is they would always have under-leveled accessories. So this is a big deal in making sure people are survivable. You really will notice it if you are struggling with content and you look at your accessory and it's really low leveled. Just max it out. It's going to make a massive difference in your survivability, actually being able to clear content, because you're going to be able to take so many more hits because of it. That's going to be it for when it comes to the early game guide. Got all these links down in the description and in the pinned comments above. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything else that you would find helpful when it comes to this, if there's any other tips that you found on your journey with Guardian Tales. And with that, guys, I'm out. Peace.